All right, hello, welcome everybody. Look, if you are here and you need German translation, we have Roland here with us. So what you're going to do is right down below, there's a little icon and it says interpretation. You're going to click on interpretation and you will see our German translation there. So if you need to access that translation, make sure that you do by clicking on interpretation. Great. All right. Look, I know we're all very, very excited, and I am going to go ahead and get us started here. Let me just start by sharing my screen and welcoming everybody real quick. All right, welcome to our exclusive training with Eric Worre. If you are excited about this training, what I want you to do is drop me a 1 here in the chat. I want to know how excited you are for this exclusive training. I see people even holding up the number 1, right, Robert? I couldn't wait. I had to put it here in the chat, but this training is going to be life-changing, and we're going to talk even more about that training here in just a second. But before I do, and before we get started, what I want to do is talk to you about our rewards winner. We were sharing some rewards with everybody that was sharing this training and Nowsite. So what they're able to get, and our rewards winner will get platinum admission to Go Pro 2024. This is a $6,500 value, so $5,000 for this ticket, $1,500 hotel airfare. There's only 400 in-person tickets available to this 3-day in-person event. You are going to be treated like royalty here. You're going to get to mix and mingle with Eric and Marina and be there live. And the way that you win this platinum admission by sharing this training and sharing Nowsite with others. So I want to share who our rewards winner is. But before I do, I want to share our honorable mention, Julie Garbo, who did a fantastic job, was running and really doing a great job sharing. So Julie, I know you're watching. Congratulations. So close, right up until the end. But we want to share who our reward winner is. Now, let me share with you, our reward winner is Kawan Mayo. Congratulations, Kawan. He has been with us for 7 years, was really excited about this. This is his opportunity to go to that event in person, which is incredible. I am super proud of you guys for running, but way to go, Kawan. Congratulations for earning that platinum admission to GoPro. Everybody, give Kawan a shout out here in the chat. This was awesome. All right. So we are going to get into our exclusive training. Look, I want to say congratulations to you all because you made an important decision by being a part of Nowsite. And by doing so, you have access to this exclusive training. But today we have the privilege of hearing from world-renowned network marketing trainer, the one and only Eric Worre. And I know we're dropping those ones in the chat. We're saying how excited we are, but let me tell you a bit about what's going to happen today. See, everything is evolving and teams are growing with innovative strategies. And Eric is going to share with us recruiting and duplication strategies to help you. And I can't wait for him to share all of those secrets on recruiting and duplication. But that's not all. Look, this is a day we will never forget because you have the opportunity to be the first. How many of you love being the first? Put me here in the chat. Of course you do. You're here. You're in the training and it's awesome. But what you have is an opportunity to hear a huge, huge announcement that is sure to change the way you think about goal setting and training. After this day, what you're going to say to yourself is, this will never, ever be the same again. The way I set goals, the way I think about training, the way I think about how I'm going to proceed inside of this business is never going to be the same again. I love the way that we innovate in our partnership here with Eric Worre. So everybody put your hands together, or your virtual hands together, and give us a big welcome to Eric Worre. Eric?
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see me, you can hear me. All right, we're good. Technologically, we're working okay. This is real, Eric, and unless we're in some sort of a multiverse, which we might be, you know, this might be all be a simulation. It's the only thing that could describe half of our lives. Have any of you noticed all of this conversation about between whether it's AI or multiverse or simulation theories and all these different types of things? I've been very highly aware of all of these things, and who knows? Here's all I know. I'm going to do my best using the tools that I have available to me to be able to share as much information as I can share to people who are willing. Right? I'm looking for 3 things, and this is something to start your notes with. You might have heard this before, and if you haven't, I'd like you to help me popularize it. In order to be successful in this business, you need to have 3 things: willing, coachable, and hungry. I can't force you to do this. I can't force you to maximize Nowsite. If you're not coachable, I can't force you to improve it. You know, I can't help somebody that doesn't listen. And hungry. And you kind of can't teach hunger. You need to be able to kind of dig down and say, what hunger allows you to do is things that you normally wouldn't do. You know, they say people join our business for inspiration. Some people change their lives, change other people's lives. And some join for desperation. They're just sick and tired of wherever they're at. I was in the desperation category. I just needed money. You know, I wasn't here to change the world. I needed to change my world. And like when you get on the airplane, they say, you know, put your own oxygen mask on first and then go ahead and see how many other people you can help. I think the same thing's true in our business. You gotta make sure that the first circle works. You got to make sure that you lead yourself. You got to make sure that you maximize your ability. You got to make sure that, you know, no matter how big your heart is, if you're not competent, how far can you go? If you can't figure out how to have conversations with people, how big a network can you build? If you're not willing to transfer those conversations from casual conversations to either business or product conversations, you're stuck. And it's funny, this last week I posted on, as just a test on Instagram, and it said, you know, hey, if you're stuck, if you feel like you're underperforming in comparison to your potential in network marketing, shoot me a DM. I want to have a conversation with you. So anybody who's done that, that's in this group, I will get to you. But it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And you know what's interesting? Almost none of it is, how do I do this? Almost all of it is, how do I get myself to do this? Like 99%. They're stuck. I know what to do. I'm pretty clear on what to do, but I can't get myself to do what I know. And is there something wrong with me? And I'm here to tell you there's nothing wrong with you. And everybody goes through this journey of knowing what to do and not quite doing what they know yet. How many of you feel stuck on some level? You're under, put a 2 in the chat if you feel like you're underperforming in comparison to your potential. There's way more inside of you than you're currently showing the world. A lot of 2s, right? And let me ask you a couple questions. Why do you think there's a gap between what you should do and what you could do and what you know should be happening and what you're actually doing? Why do you think that gap exists? Howard says mental. Alan says conditioning. Myself, fear of rejection, mental blocks, motivation, fear, belief, fear, distraction, hidden commitments, fear again, rejection, fear, training, not much training, honestly. Ego, some for sure, self-sabotage. Are you seeing a trend in the chat? Just check the chat out. And I want to let you know that the words in this chat are the business that we have chosen. The words in this chat are the business that we have chosen. What we do for a living is we help blind people see. We help fearful people take action. We help people who've been conditioned that they're not worthy, that they are worthy. We help build belief. We help people get into action. We help people go from procrastination to consistency. It's not even what you say so much. It's just that you do something. And I'm not here to embarrass you because you're here. You know, I'm proud of you. On a Saturday. My family's in the pool. I'm here with you, okay? You're here on a Saturday. Wherever you are in the world, I'm proud of you for being here, okay? But I will tell you that being here is not enough. Having downloaded Nowsite is not enough. Not even the idea of not quitting is not enough. Some people say, well, if I don't quit, some people would like to say in these trainings, if you don't quit, then you're guaranteed to win. That is not true. That is a lie. How many people do you know that have not quit and are losing right now? Good soldiers that have not quit and are not succeeding. So the formula is make a decision, number one, that you're going to do it, even in the face of fear. Number two, don't quit, of course, because that guarantees that you're out of the game. But number three, here's the big one. Get a little bit better every day. That's the secret weapon. That's what took me from a minimum wage person to a successful person, what other people would call success. I've got a long way to go, but put God in your business? Absolutely. But let me tell you something. You can have God in your business, but if you don't get better every day, your business results, God gave you the ability to get better every day. If you choose not to, that's a form of rebellion, in my opinion. And you are going to stay where you are until you learn the lesson that God has put you in a place to learn. Don't put this on God. It's not God's responsibility for you to start talking to people. It's yours. Okay? So, one, make a decision. I'm going to do this. Dang it. And two, I'm not going to quit. You can't knock me out. And three, I'm going to get a little bit better every day. That is the secret weapon. That is the secret weapon. And let me tell you something that might be a little bit controversial. Can I be straight with you? Put a 7 in the chat if I can just be absolutely straight up honest with you. I'm your friend. I'm not here to scold you. I'm not here to make you feel less than. I'm here to give you the truth. Yes, I've been already, but I'm about to go to a different level. So I have 2 questions, and I want all of you to answer these questions. Okay? You agree? Question number 1. 12 months from today, by the end of, today's June 1st, so by the end of May, so let's say the month of May of 2025, how much would you like to be making per month? What would you consider success from your network marketing business? What would your monthly income be? I want all of you to put a number in. No tourists. This is not Netflix. Put a number in. Some big numbers, some huge numbers, some medium numbers, some small numbers. A lot of 10s and 20,000s, 30,000s, 5,000s, 30, 250,000. I want to see 600 numbers before I go to the next question. So you might as well start typing. Type your number. No tourists on this Zoom. 600,000, fantastic. $1 million a month, wow, that'd be amazing. 40,000, 50,000, 10,000, 7,000, 126,000, 22,000, 10,000. Some big numbers, right? Life changers. Imagine if that showed up tomorrow. How would that change your life? Change your life quite a bit, wouldn't it? You could help a lot of people. You can do a lot of things. Okay. Question number 2. And I want you to be honest. God is watching. Don't lie. Tell the truth. How many conversations are you currently engaged in with a prospect? Total. How many are you currently engaged in? Be honest. You're in the back and forth. Do you see any difference between the first list and this list? Do you see where there might be a gap? Between your goals and aspirations and what you're actually doing? That there may just be a humongous disconnect between your hopes and dreams and how many people you're actually giving a chance to learn about what it is that you do. Can you get to $20,000 a month talking to 2 people at any moment in time? Can you? Now I would ask you a third question. How many conversations should you be in at all times in some form of conversation in order for your vision for 12 months from today to have a chance of being real? 10? No shot. Sorry. Ongoing at any moment in time. Some fall off, some join, some say, okay, our conversation's done. Five a day. I mean, I'm not even really interested in how many per day, how many ongoing conversations at any moment in time are in process. Because you set out some pretty major goals. Your vision's great, but it might as well be $1 trillion. You're 25,000 a month, you're 50,000 a month, you're 100,000 a month, you're $1 million a month. You're talking to 7 people. I mean, how delusional can we get? Pretty delusional. Everybody thinks we're going to find some unicorn that's just going to change the game for us. It's not the way it works. So here's the good news. The goals that you laid out are available to you. I've helped about 1,000 people make $1 million a year. I've helped tens of thousands of people make 6 figures a year. I can help you. But you have to be part of the equation. Back to willing, coachable, and hungry. There's a difference between knowing what to do and doing what you know. Cynthia, I don't know why you're putting all your 5s in there, but maybe you're just leaning on the keyboard. But for things to change, we all have to change. For things to get better, Cynthia, we see your 5s. I don't know what's going on. For things to get better, we all have to get better. I think that makes sense, yes? Old lessons from Mr. Rohn. So, and some of you asking, well, how many should I have? That's for you to figure out. How do I do this? That's for you to figure out. What's possible? That's for you to figure out. What are your numbers? So let's just break it down. How many lines of sponsorship, significant lines of sponsorship, do you need? And you can define significant any way you want. Let's just say some mid-level rank, right? Some leadership rank. You have one leader in each one of these lines, however you would define a leader, okay? How many lines of sponsorship do you need, separate lines of sponsorship, in order to be able to hit your goals? 7, not the goals that I saw earlier. 5, I mean, I'm not talking the minimum. None of you are here for minimum disease, right? What's the minimum I have to do? What's the minimum volume? What's the minimum legs? What's the minimum this? What's the minimum that? You need to start thinking about maximum, not minimum. Okay? So once you know the number that you need, how many people do you need to sponsor, assuming that many of those people are not going to become significant lines? What percentage of the lines that you're going to sponsor are going to become significant lines? What percentage? 5%? 3%? 2%? 10%? 25%? Very high number. I'd say it's 10% or less. So if you need 5 lines, that means you need to start at least 50 lines of sponsorship that are committed to growing a business. At least 50. If you need 20, that means you need to start at least 200. And work with them assuming that they're going to turn into something of long-term value. Not judging the rest and not being mean to the rest, just being honest with the numbers that we deal with. See, if we were hiring people and we were paying them a salary, these numbers would change a lot. We're dealing with volunteer people. And the price of entry for most of your business is so low that the price of exit is equally low. It's the cost of going to dinner. It's the cost of taking a family to the movies. It's not much. So when it gets hard, most of you have lots of options. You got jobs you can do. You got things you could do. You got projects you could do. There's other ways you can make money. You could survive many other ways. The greatest gift I ever had is I had no place to go. I had 18 jobs prior to joining network marketing, 18 jobs. I barely escaped high school, 1 trimester of college. I have 2.0 GPA. I have 8 credits in my college career. I am nobody's prize, okay? But I started off in this profession and I learned the idea of plan, do, review. And I decided I was going to get better every single day. Daria asks, how can I create hunger when I'm satisfied for the first time in my life? Here's what I would tell to you, Daria. Congratulations on being satisfied. All of us should be content at least, grateful at least, with our health, with the different situations that we happen to be in, our families, whatever blessings have been given to you. If you're here, you should be grateful. But there's 2 phases to a network marketing career, okay? Phase number 1 is accumulation. That's how you, Daria, get satisfied. Your bills are paid. You have a little extra, got some lifestyle. Maybe you can give a little bit to the causes that are important to you. Don't have too much stress. Right? So that's phase one, accumulation. But if you stay in phase one and you say you're satisfied, and we had a little time thing that we could just move forward in time. Fast forward 3 years. My prediction, you're going to be bored out of your skull. You're going to be bored out of your mind. Because accumulation by itself is how many movies do you need to see of the person who focused on accumulation and they're not happy with their life? Daria says, I'm already bored. Yes. Yeah, so satisfied on accumulation, satisfied with, taking care of yourself. But accumulation by itself is one of the most empty forms of living that there is. The second phase of a life is contribution. When you transition from accumulation, and there's nothing wrong with accumulation, by the way, you should take care of yourself. You should get your bills paid. You don't have to just empty yourself out and give yourself to everybody else. You should be able to make sure that you've got enough of a safety net and security and everything else. Take care of your family, take care of your kids, give to the causes that are important to you, have the nice things, live the big life. There's nothing wrong with accumulation. But accumulation has its own fuel. You got something to prove to yourself, something to prove to others. Ambition, competition, all these different things drive these things. Then contribution has a completely unique fuel. When you're able to contribute to somebody else's life, when you're able to serve at a greater extent, when you're able to help somebody else go from being blind to being able to see, somebody going from being ignorant to being educated, somebody going from being captive to being free. That's a different kind of living. You might ask, why am I here? Why am I having this conversation with you? Marina and I have plenty of money. We could be done a long time ago. You know why we're here? It's not to make a few extra dollars. It is here. We're here to contribute to you and to teach you how to contribute to others. That's why we're here. So, my first question was, what do you want to make a year from today? We got all these big numbers. Easy to type. Easy to type these big numbers. Number two, how many conversations are you currently in? A little harder to type those numbers because that kind of exposes a gap. Number three, how many conversations would it really take, and lines of sponsorship would it really take for you to be able to achieve your goals? Number three. And the question number four, what are you prepared to do about it? What has to change? I had this group yesterday. We had this breakthrough boot camp, 21 weeks of people, and I coached them every week for 21 weeks. And you know what I told them? I'll tell them what I told you. You either have to lower your expectations for your future in network marketing down to your effort level and be willing to be satisfied with that and enjoy the whatever comes out of that. Or you have to increase your productivity to match your dreams and your productivity. And if you're not willing to do one of those two things, my strongest encouragement to you is to quit and do something else. Because if you don't change one of those two things, you're going to feel bad about yourself every single day of your network marketing career. And there's no shame in lowering your big, huge goals for today down to the level of effort that you're willing to give today, and then changing that level of effort over time. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you insist on having caviar dreams and you're not willing to do the caviar activities, you're just going to feel shitty all the time about yourself. And I would just save you of that. I would save you that pain. Because it sucks. It's the worst thing ever. So, with that reality check to you, said in love, I'm your friend, I promise. I want to see you win, I promise. We're working together with Nowsite in order to be able to help you change the number of conversations that you're starting and the quality of those conversations. I promise. What you're going to get, the announcement that we're going to lay out today is going to take that to another level. And every single month, we're going to be adding new things, I promise. But I can't go weed your garden for you. You have to weed your garden. You have to discipline your own disappointment. You have to not be distracted by every butterfly that flies by your line of sight. You have to be willing to challenge some of your limiting beliefs. You have to be willing to change some of your bad habits. But I grew up in network marketing when I realized there was nobody coming to save me. That I had to save me, even when I didn't feel qualified. I didn't have these tools. My team needed leadership so bad, and there was no leaders in the market in Minneapolis at the time. And so I just pretended to be a leader. I acted like a leader. And I just did what I thought the leaders in my company would do in any given situation. I didn't have people to ask. I just kind of mentally modeled what I thought they would do. Because I didn't know exactly what they would do, but I modeled what I thought they would do. And my plan was to do it until a leader showed up and would take this pressure off of me, because I did not consider myself a leader. I did not want to be a leader. I didn't want the pressure. I didn't want everybody looking at me all the time. I didn't want people blaming me for giving them bad advice. I just didn't want any of it. And a leader eventually did show up. And it was not another person. It was me. I showed up eventually. And I wasn't just modeling other people, and I wasn't just acting. I did what I thought leaders would do long enough. I modeled it long enough, and I used plan to review. I got better every day long enough until, and I remember the day, we had a little office. And here was, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but this is what happened to me. I remember the day. I'm standing in the office and there was this big drama. I can't even remember what the drama was that happened in the company. And everybody heard about it and everybody's head turned and looked at me. And I'm like, what? And they're like, well, what are we going to do? And I realized, oh, I've earned this position now. And now I need to do my best, knowing it's not going to be perfect, to give them a plan, to frame the narrative, to get people to take action that they normally wouldn't have taken, and to help them get through this challenge, which I did. And then I got used to people looking at me like, okay, what do we do next? Okay, I guess I kept waiting for the geniuses to show up. Have any of you ever been on a board? Have any of you ever served on a board? A few of you? Have you been surprised at the lack of genius on these boards? You keep waiting for them, the geniuses, to show up, and you're looking around like, this can't be it. This can't be like all there is. And for the most part, it's kind of all there is. You need to be stronger. You need to be better. And you need to just accept the fact that you are better than you think that you are. So I was here, I was asked to talk to you about recruiting and duplication, which I will. But without this conversation, the how-to, you already know how to. Without this conversation, we're not going to get very far. You know, we'll finish this conversation. We'll give you some tools, and then you'll hang up this Zoom and you'll go do something else for the rest of the weekend. And you'll think about thinking about it, and you'll get ready to get ready, and you'll prepare to prepare. And pretty soon summer will be gone, and pretty soon you're going to be doing Christmas shopping, and pretty soon it's going to be the beginning of next year, and pretty soon a year's going to be going by, and your business has not going to be changed that much. You know, there's 673 people on this Zoom, and I don't know how many people on social, but I came to talk to like 100 of you that are really ready. And I hope the rest of you do it. You know, I'm glad you're here. Because for the rest of you, maybe you're getting a little closer to making that decision. You know what I found out success was mostly about? Making a decision. Just to stop, deciding you're not going to be stopped. Deciding you're going all the way to the top. deciding you're going to plan, review your way there, deciding that you're willing to do it with or without somebody else's help, deciding that you don't need support. You are the support. Deciding you don't need the training. You'll go find the training. Deciding you're going to take the resources and the tools that are available to you and you're going to maximize those while other people squander them. That's the difference. Okay? Make a decision. I've been around this for 36 years. And I'll tell you from my point of view, I just turned 60 last month or 2 months ago. Time flies. And I have made the conscious decision that I am going to a place that I have never been. And in order for me to do that, I've got to become a version of myself that I've never been. And it won't be comfortable. And it's going to be challenging. And there's going to be growing pains. And I'm going to be frustrated sometimes. I've realized there's levels to this game. And I've been playing in the kiddie games for 36 years. And I'm sick of it. I've found a way to get in some rooms that are so powerful. Have you ever gotten in a room that was so powerful that you just should just shut up and be quiet and listen and just be grateful to be in the room? Well, I'm in some of those rooms. Some of you should be in some of those rooms. So whether you're 60, I mean, I see some friends here that are 60, 70, 80. It doesn't matter. You know, my anti-aging doctor told me, make it to 2029 without any major systemic issues. You know why I'm on such a health kick? I'm going after it hard. I'm on such a health kick because he said if you can show up by 2029 without any major systemic issues, today, because of advances in technology, today, this moment, a year goes by and you don't age a year, you only age 8 months. This is what the experts are saying. There's 4 months that you're not aging because of the advances in technology. And that's going to continue to improve. And by 2029, we'll reach stasis. In other words, a year will go by, but we will not age a year. We will not age at all when it comes to our elasticity of our skin and the length of our telomeres and all these other things that are happening by 2029. And then the prediction is, because of advances in technology, we're going to start going backwards. Not that we're going to become a baby again, but we're not going to do the Benjamin Button thing, but my anti-aging doctor, I have 2 of them. There's 2 of the smartest people in the world, have told me flat out, show up at 2029 without any major systemic issues, and living to 120 is a lock. So I'm in for that. So I'm adding as much muscle mass as I can right now. I am getting myself as strong as I can be right now. And I've had limiting beliefs about my body and about my fitness, about my nutrition for my entire life. I'm releasing all of those right now. I am going to show up at 15% body fat or less by that period of time. 120 is a lock. How about that? That means I'm just now middle-aged. That means I'm just now ready to go. at age 60. So I'm fired up about that. So let me give you a few tips on recruiting and on duplication. Okay? But I hope you heard what I had to say prior to this, because the tips won't matter if you didn't hear me. Tip number 1, all business is conversation. All business is conversation. If you're in conversation, you've got a chance of doing business. If you're not in conversation, you have no chance of doing business. Very few people are going to knock on your door and ask to give you money. You have a value proposition. You are standing in the breach between your product and your company and the consumer that needs it. And you're educating them, you're demonstrating the product, you're providing community, you're providing personal growth, you're providing your own word of mouth advertising. You are the educator, you are the connector, you are the communicator. That's what we do for a living. Not going anywhere. It's going to become more and more valuable the more technology shows up. It's going to become more and more valuable. We stand between the breach. But if you're not having conversations, you have no chance. It's done. Go do something else. Go do some other business where you don't have to have conversations. If you're not willing to talk to people, I'm shy. I'm an introvert too. Don't give me that introvert crap. I'm an introverted person. I lose energy in a crowd. When I'm done with this Zoom, I'm going to need to go stare at the wall for a little bit and recharge, like plugging in my phone. I'm going to go need to recharge. Some of you extroverts, you gain energy in a crowd, not me. Whatever your limiting belief is about you, about whatever's got going on, you don't have a quality problem when it comes to talking to people about your product or about your opportunity. You do not have a quality problem. You have a quantity problem. You're not talking to enough. So my first piece of advice when it comes to recruiting, you have to up the quantity. And it doesn't matter if you suck, so long as you get better every day. Be willing to suck. Be willing to put yourself in potentially embarrassing situations, you perfectionists out there. Be willing to be embarrassed, to be willing to be humiliated. Be willing to do it wrong. Be willing to be terrible publicly in front of the whole world. I adopted the philosophy a long time ago that says I never lose. Either I win or I learn. So all I need every day is to have as many experiences as I can have. And if they're a bad experience, I'm going to learn more than a good experience. If they're a good experience, I move my business forward. If they're a bad experience, I learn something so I can move my business forward and I can be better tomorrow. You can't beat me. I'm like a hydra. You cut off my head, two heads show back up. You can't beat me. I'm unbeatable. Reject me, please. Go ahead. Cindy says, my issue is emotions. Great. Do it emotional. Do it when it's terrible. Do it when there's tears rolling down your cheeks. Just do it and learn from the experience and do it better the next time. Because what's the alternative? Don't do it. And then where's your future? I wish you well. But if you're not willing to face your emotions, there's a great book from a friend of mine. Her name is Susan Rowan. It says, feel the fear and do it anyway. Nothing wrong with fear. Nothing wrong with emotion. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what I learned how to do. And that's what you need to learn how to do. How many of you secretly wish, that we could wave a magic wand and everybody in the world instantly would stop judging network marketing, would understand the model, would respect what it is that we do, and would appreciate the career path that people have chosen inside this business? Put a 1 in the chat if you wish that that would happen. We wave a magic wand, it would happen tomorrow. Would that be great? Think it would be great, huh? Let me tell you what. If that was the case, I would not wave the magic. If I had the magic wand, I would not wave it. And you know why? The opportunity would be over. The company would not have to pay you what it pays you today in order to educate the uneducated, to help blind people see. They wouldn't need to pay you a fraction of it. The fact that it's hard is what makes it so profitable. The fact that it's hard is what makes it so great. If it was easy, you could be replaced in 2 seconds for 1/100th of what they're willing to pay you now. They'd replace you every 15 minutes. Now they'll build trophies and they'll build sculptures of you if you get to the top of your company. They'll hold a parade for you if you make $1 million. Go make $1 million in corporate America or in the corporate world anywhere in the world. Go make $1 million. How many of you have ever made $1 million or more in the corporate environment working as an employee? Put a 2 in the chat if you ever have. I'm sure there's some. Ryan, Anita, Barry, Mary Kay, Maritza, Bob. The moment that happened, tell me if this is true, they start having meetings about you. And they start saying, are they really worth that much? Can we get 2 of them to do it for $500,000 each? Can we get 5 of them to do it for $200,000 each? Can we cut their territory? Can we cut their commissions? I promise you, they're going to have meetings about you. They won't let you keep it. Put a 10 in the chat if they let you keep making the money you made $1 million. Put a 10 in the chat if they let you keep making the money. Put a 20 in the chat if they found a way to take it away. Take a look. Inside of our world, they'll throw a parade. You'll be the keynote speaker. In their world, they're going to find a way to take it away. Unless you have some magical unicorn skill, they're going to take it away. So all business is conversation. Do the number of conversations line up with your goals and aspirations? So what I'm going to challenge you is this. Cory says about what about the finance world? What do you think is going to happen with AI as AI enters the finance world? What do you think is going to happen to the people making all the money that are sitting in between all these different transactions when AI enters the finance world? They're going to make all that money? Nope. We're living in the future right now. So all business is conversation, right? You need to increase the number of conversations that you're going to have. Once you increase the number of conversations, and you don't have to worry about what you say, you can use Nowsite in order to ask, what should I say? You can say hello. You can just have a conversation. Be a normal person. How's your life? How's your family? How's business? How's your kids? What are you doing for fun? What are you doing for work? Right? And then there's a pivot somewhere in that conversation. I think at least you should have at least 100 conversations happening at all times, in process at all times, if you're serious at all about building a big business. Nowsite makes this easy. If you don't do it, it's on you. If you're confused as to what to do, it'll help you. If you don't have people to talk to, it'll give you posts that'll give you people to talk to. It's not difficult. You don't know what to say to them, ask the AI what to say to them, and it'll tell you. You literally just have to follow instructions. There's never been a time when the barriers to being able to have quality conversations have been so small. Ever. Just never let it fall under 100. Ever. If it gets to 99, get it back up over 100. Gets to 80, freak out. Get it back up to 100. Start the conversations, keep the conversations going, and look for a pivot point. And there's going to be two different kinds of pivot points. One is they come to you and they say, so tell me, what are you doing? What do you got going on? What's exciting in your life? That opens up the door for you to be able to educate them on what you have. How do you track 100 conversations? You have a tracker right here. It's really simple. I'm testing something, right? So I posted, hey, you struggling, you need help? DM me. I'm just testing something. And every time I get one of those DMs, I write down the name on a piece of paper. I don't have it in front of me. And I respond. I start the conversation. Or they started it. I started with a post. They responded. I sent them back something. I write their name down. They sent something back to me. I sent something back to them. I put a little one next to it. They sent something to me. I said something back to them. I put a little check mark next to it again. And you know what it takes for somebody to join? To make a decision for what I'm trying to do with my test? About 5 little check marks. And then they make a decision. On average, it's about 5. If they're really hungry, it can be less. But I can ask them, are you willing, coachable, and hungry? Because I'm not willing to work with anybody who's not. It's about 5 on average. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And I know I have a brand, so my 5 might be your 10. Fine. But if you have a solution, then you're good. Nowsite has a tracker, so it's more sophisticated than me. I got a legal pad and I have my phone. So here's what I would tell you. How do I manage all these leads? Don't get stuck in the weeds. Just do the damn thing. Well, but how do I figure out the tracker? Well, figure out the freaking tracker. You can get it done. Well, I don't, what am I supposed to say? Ask Nowsite what to say. It'll tell you. Get out of the weeds. Get out of your head. If you stay in your head, you're dead. Guess what guarantees death? Immobility. The unwillingness to take an action that you know that you should take in your business. You're guaranteed. But you have the tools all sitting right there, right? So, all business conversation, never let it fall below 100. You've got the tools to be able to do it. Look for a pivot point. Pivot point number 1, they come to you. Pivot point number 2, you can go to them. After the conversation's gone back and forth, there's lots of different pivots. And as a trainer, I have, you ever heard a comedian talk about the craft of being a comedian? They use this term called bits. I have this bit that I did on the late night talk show. I have this bit that I did on my concert. I have this bit that I did here or there. Well, I have a little team that is collecting all my bits. I currently have over 1,000 bits. 1,000. 3 steps to this, 5 steps to that, a quote that leads to this type of training, an answer to this question, an answer to that question. All business conversation is a bit. And 1,000 is just the beginning. I have thousands of bits. Guess where those bits are going? Into Nowsite. You'll have them all, which is bananas. To be able to have access. Half of these bits I can't even remember doing. I did them while I was in flow in front of 20,000 people in Germany one year, and it was amazing. So I'm loading that all up, right? So let me give you the way that you can pivot the conversation back to them if they don't pivot it to you to get about business. I'll give you my favorite. This is my favorite bit when it comes to pivoting the conversation to a business conversation. Okay? I'm going to use Chris Kenny. Chris, I want you to type into the chat. I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? You look like a sharp guy. So, question, we're bantering back and forth. And I say, Chris, out of curiosity, have you ever started your own business? You have? How did it go? What kind of business was it? Slow. It's slow. The business is slow, and it's a graphic design business. Do you still have it? Yeah. So how many employees do you have? Just you. All right. So when you say it's slow, why is it slow, do you think? People looking for cheap alternatives online, AI, those types of things. Yeah, that's got to be hard for people in the graphic design. Do you think it's going to become harder for you in the graphic design business or easier for you as technology continues to improve? Harder or easier? Just out of curiosity. Harder. Easier craft-wise, but harder client-wise. Yeah. So, in other words, it's going to be harder and harder for you to make the same amount of money, even though there are tools that make the craft easier to be able to do. The tools are too widespread in order to be able to have any kind of specialness or exclusivity. That makes sense? Am I pretty close? Yeah. So let me ask you a question, Chris. If there was a way for you to take your creative talent and have a way to have basically unlimited clients and have residual income connected to those clients, to be able to expand it out of your local market, to be able to make the business not just about you, but about building a team, building a network of other people. There was support provided. You could start part-time. You didn't have to have a lot of skills necessarily. There's training provided. I know it sounds like a fairy tale. It is. The only catch to this really is it's non-traditional. Okay? It's not what you were taught in school. But if all of that existed, if all of that was real, would you be willing to learn a little bit more about it to figure out if maybe this is a plan B as your world continues to change and the earth continues to shift under your feet? Would you be willing to take a look? Absolutely. Right? So that's somebody who's had a business. Raise your hand if you've never had a business. Just raise your hand. Somebody raise your hand if you've never had a business. Can't see any hands. Nobody prior to network marketing, you never had a business? You've all had businesses? All right, somebody pretend that you've never had a business. Who's going to? Marie Eve is going to pretend that she's never had a business. Okay, you ready to type, Marie Eve? Here we go. Marie Eve, have you ever, out of curiosity, I've enjoyed our conversation back and forth. Have you ever started your own business? No? You seem to me like the entrepreneurial type. Why not? Why haven't you started your own business? You don't know how to. Why else? What other reasons? Scared. I get that. Why are you scared? Scared to fail? Okay, I understand. What other reasons? To be judged? That might be a little freaky, right? How about money? Do you have enough money to be able to go start a business? I have no money. How about experience? Do you have experience? Do you know how to be an entrepreneur? None. But you've been in customer service. All right. So let me ask you a question, Marie Eve. If there was a way that all of those fears that you had could be taken care of, and all those limitations that you just shared with me, and thanks for sharing, were handled for you, would you ever like to entertain being your own boss? Do you agree with me that being your own boss is safer than being employed by somebody else as we move into the new world? Do you agree with that? For sure? All right. So this is non-traditional again. But if I could show you how to get past every one of those limitations that you laid out, and you could start this step by step at your pace, would you be willing to take another look? Would you be willing to just kind of explore this with me? It's hard to believe, but yes. Okay, I understand it's hard to believe. And we'll go step by step. I promise you it's real. Right? So if somebody says, yes, they have, how's it going? Slow. Why is it going slow? They tell me why. They could say, if it's, I ask somebody else, do you have your own business? Yes. How's it going? It's going great. Fantastic. How many locations do you have? Oh, I only have the one. Why just one location? Well, because two's like 5 times harder. How many states are you in? How many countries are you in? Countries? Are you crazy? I can't do other countries. I've got enough to do my own. If somebody says no, why not? They give you a list of reasons. Do you have a solution for any of those things? Yes or no? This is my favorite pivot, by the way. And there's a million pivots. Okay? In all my bits, there's a million pivots to be able to get to an interesting conversation, to get somebody to go to where we want them to be, which is educated. We're trying to educate them on what we do. Okay? So, as we move forward, these 1,000+ bits are all going to be loaded into Eric AI point 2, which there's some interesting things coming up. It's kind of crazy. I mean, if you would have told me 6 months ago that the stuff that they're doing and they're going to announce to you today was possible, I would have said, don't believe you. I just don't believe you. But they're proving me wrong every day. So, most of recruiting is conversation. Just get that as simple as you can. You have to increase the quantity and get better every day. And then we'll teach you, and the AI Nowsite will teach you what to say, what to do, how to respond. And if you're like, well, gosh, Eric, this looks so easy for you, you're going to be able to use my exact words of exactly what I would do if I was talking to your prospect. That's coming like now. And duplication is, most of duplication happens in what you do when you talk to a prospect. They're going to try and do whatever you did. And if you say, guess what? I just use this tool. I use Nowsite. It told me what to do. I did it. I could show you how to use it. And if you're willing to follow the bouncing ball like I did, you can get results like I did. You don't even have to know anybody. It'll help you find people. So it's just like all of your limiting beliefs and excuses, it's time to let them go. It's time to release them. And time to change your level of effort and activity and have it match your dreams. Okay? So with that, I went over. No big surprise there. I went longer than I expected to go, but I'm going to hand it back to Justin, and then we got some stuff to share with you. So Justin, go ahead.
I'm here. I hope everyone can hear me and see me. That was amazing, Eric. Thank you. I've had the pleasure in the last year of probably seeing you speak at least 100 hours on 3 continents together. And guys, I can tell you that yeah, that those were new bits. Those were new pivot. I haven't heard those before. So thank you. And also everyone, look, I want to just underscore how fortunate we are to, to have Eric share so much of his valuable time. Especially on a Saturday. I look, I've seen him speak to 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 people. And for him to, spend part of his Saturday afternoon with us, can't thank you enough, my friend. Sincerely.
My pleasure. My pleasure. This
Something you
group
said
is worth it.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
I just said this group is worth it. That's the only reason why I'm here.
So, well, look, something you said early on that I wanted to circle back to. You talked about how many people you've helped, with get their first 10 customers or their first 6 figures, their first 7 figures. Can you just share that one more time with everybody?
I don't know exactly the number of how many I've helped get their first 10 customers. I do know it's tens of thousands of people I've helped to get to 6 figures a year. And it's over 1,000 people I've helped to get to 7 figures a year, US dollars, all over the world. Amazing. Over 100 countries around the world, and virtually any product or any service. So the things that I'm sharing are not theory. They're not the rhymey things that you hear from others sometimes. Nothing against that. I'm just saying this is the real stuff. So, yeah, a lot. I don't know if there's anybody else in the world that has helped more. That one of my kind of private goals is to out contribute everybody else in the network marketing space. Multiplied before I'm done 60 years from now.
Well, it reminds me of a conversation that we had when we first met. We've been talking for a long time about what we can do together to help everyone in this industry succeed. And I don't know if you remember, I asked you this a long time ago. If money wasn't an issue, if your time wasn't an issue, what would you do to ensure that everyone that you worked with could achieve their goals? Like whether they're starting out or they're 6 figures or they're 7 figures, like in a perfect world, what would be your ideal service, your ideal vision?
Well, some I can do. I mean, in a perfect world, it's immersion, right? If I can immerse a person or a group of people in an environment and hold them accountable to their hopes and dreams, I can help them move forward faster. If I could do that. So the live events that I do, whether it's Most Powerful Women or the GoPro events, those help with social proof, understanding, checking in, building belief, developing some skills, bringing your people to those events, getting those people to see the big picture. So those help. Second is access to knowledge. The best content and courses that I've been able to develop over the years, and I continue to develop. These 1,000 bits, I've been working with one team for 90 days to find the 1,000 bits. There's thousands and thousands more. They're all good. You can use all of them for training. And I also learned that spaced repetition is very, very important, because you don't learn something when you remember it. You learn something when you can't forget it. So you learn, then you step away, you try, and then you come back and you listen again and you go, I didn't hear that the first time. And then you go do it and you go, oh, that's what he meant. And then you come back. So if there's an opportunity for spaced repetition over time, my best students are the ones that check in on a regular basis and continue to evolve and develop. Okay. They don't listen once, take notes, and they feel like they're done. So spaced repetition is really, really important. I would ask a lot of questions. If I sat down with any one of you, I'd ask a lot of questions to find out the specifics of your business, your goals, what your activities, your limiting beliefs, what are the blocks, what are the repeating patterns. I'd need to know what is holding you back. Is it old programming? Is it childhood trauma? Is it emotional stress and damage? Is it fear? And where did the fear come from? In the best case, it's very difficult to do because you don't have the time, but work one-on-one to develop a plan specifically. Like I've done that with some very big names, many of the names that you know in our business. I would work one-on-one to develop a specific plan, because your fear might be different than somebody else's. Your block might be different than somebody else's. What I've learned is most of this is psychological, not tactical. The tactical, like my little pivot on have you started a business, you get excited about that, right? And that caused you to take some action. That's great. Fantastic. But if we don't help with the psychological, you're way less likely to actually go do it. We got to get you past that part and get you into motion. So I'd work on develop a training plan. I'd meet regularly with you, daily, weekly, and I'd hold you accountable. What I learned more than anything else is accountability is the whole deal. The whole deal. When I set a goal 2 years ago to hold myself accountable to my own physical fitness, that changed the game, because it's what you do when nobody's watching that makes the difference. And you need to have an accountability structure that will force you to do something that you wouldn't have done, but also a thing that would move your business forward. And some of you have so many options that you're not willing to hold yourself accountable. So in a perfect world, I'd meet daily or weekly and hold you accountable. I'd remind you why you did this in the first place. And also in a perfect world, I'd be available if you got stuck.
Nice.
If you got stuck, because most people, like, put into the chat just the word stuck. If you feel like you're stuck on some level in this profession, because I've been stuck with my physical fitness for 58 years. I'm unstuck now. And they tell you it takes 21 days to build a habit. They're a bunch of liars. That's not true. I've done so many things for 21 days, and it took 2 days for me to lose it all. So don't tell me it takes 21 days or 90 days or anything else. It takes accountability and then slowly reprogramming your mind and plan, do, review, getting progress from somebody you trust in order to be able to get the results that you want to do. So whether it's social media or closing or meetings or challenges or, what are the KPIs that are important? We would work on that. I do that with companies. I charge big money because I don't have a lot of time. I do that with world-class, huge companies. And they get to enjoy big success because of that. But it's hard to do real life one-on-one. KPIs are key performance indicators. What are the measurements? Like there's 4 major KPIs: core rank, which I'm not going to get into right now, 10 recruits or more, the percentage of people getting 10 recruits or more, very important. The attendance at destination events, very important. the skills of your organization. Generally, the thickness of skills in your organization, very important. And the fifth is, hold on, give me a second. I'll come up with the fifth in a second. Core, premier, 10 or more, destination events. Oh, travelers. The number of people you have on your team that are traveling is a very key indicator. How many people are actually, retention is a byproduct. It's not really a KPI that I measure that much. I'm talking about growth. How many people on your team are traveling? There's 100 KPIs. Traveling to some distributor or team somewhere outside of your local market. So KPIs continue to expand, but I usually focus on 3 or 4.
So for an individual, have you ever thought like this level of attention, the daily call, the on call, the daily, the KPIs? Have you ever thought about what you might charge for something like that?
I just finished 21 weeks of 1 hour a week. Okay. I charged $3,000 for that, and I would not do it again. I will not do it again. There's just, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. For what I just described, it's 7 figures. That's what I charge companies for that. Or 8 figures is what I charge companies for that. So, and that's not bragging. That's just reality. There's only so much time. I really know what I'm doing. I've done this for 36 years. I'm not guessing. And it's worth it for them to be able to get those types of results.
Well, we've got a pretty big announcement, don't we?
Well, you do. I'm still learning about. I know. I know you and Marina have put together some things while I've been outrageously busy, but so I'm looking forward to hearing it as well. So go ahead.
All right.
Lay it on them.
Thank you. Thank you again, everyone. Big thanks to Eric Worre for his time today. And let's get to this. Okay. This is going to be amazing. So first of all, let's start with that impossible vision that Eric just shared. In a perfect world, he would want everyone to be able to attend his live events. He would love everyone to have access to all of his best content and courses. He'd love to do a one-on-one consultation with each of you to understand your goals, develop a personalized training strategy for you, meet regularly to make sure you're progressing towards those goals, and be there to help you close sales, prepare for meetings, plan your social media, organize challenges, and more. It's impossible, right? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's possible. Introducing GoPro Now. This is the only training system that guarantees results. Guarantees results. How does it work? First of all, yes, you get access to all of the best live events. GoPro Experience, Most Powerful Women, which, by the way, is in 2 weeks, June 15th, I believe. Access to all the best content and courses in GoPro Academy. And yes, we'll work with you one-on-one to create your unique training strategy and meet regularly to ensure that you're progressing towards your goals and help you close deals and prepare for meetings and organize challenges and so much more. How? That's the question. Well, we're introducing today Eric AI 2.0. It is 4 times faster than the Eric AI that you're used to, and it is unbelievably capable. It has vision. So you could share social media posts to get input, videos to get advice. It has an incredible long-term memory. So it will remember all of your conversations. It will get to know you better and better and better. It will be connected to the internet. So it can help you with online research and strategic planning. It will know about your company. It will create daily action plans and help you craft long-term strategies and even recommend training sessions that are perfect for you from those 1,000 bits and millions of pivots that Eric described. So let's see it in action. You guys ready? Yeah, let's check this out. This is pretty cool. So first of all, he looks a lot better. And the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to get to know Eric AI, and he's going to get to know you. In the same way that when you sign up with Nowsite, you create a profile, you're going to have a complete consultation with Eric AI. How long have you been in network marketing? What are your significant goals or milestones that you've achieved? What goals do you have for the next year? Tell me about your company. Tell me about your limiting beliefs. Tell me about your fears. And then he'll create a customized training plan for you. Let's see it in action. Oh, it's so much better with sound. Did that not work? Hold on. Let's try that again. This is just so cool.
Hey there, Eric Worre here, and today I want to talk about prospecting, the lifeblood of your network marketing business. First, understand this. Prospecting is about making connections, not just selling. Your goal is to build relationships and offer value. All business is conversation, and you want to have as many as you possibly can. Remember, it's not about convincing them. Share your excitement, the benefits of the product, and how it's helped you or others. Ask questions and listen. Finally, be consistent. Set daily goals for how many people you'll contact, because prospecting is a numbers game. The more contacts means more potential leads. Keep honing your skills, stay positive, and never stop prospecting. You got this.
But what if I'm afraid to reach out to my friends and family?
I get it. It's completely normal. Many people worry about how they'll be perceived or fear of rejection. Here's how to overcome that fear. Start by shifting your mindset. Remember that you're offering something valuable, an opportunity that could benefit them. And practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the easier it will become. You'll be surprised at how many people are open to hearing about what you have to say. And focus on building relationships rather than making immediate sales. This takes the pressure off and makes the conversation feel more natural.
What do I do if they respond to my first question? How about that?
Great question. When a prospect responds, it means they're interested enough to engage in a conversation. And here's what you should do next. First, acknowledge their response and thank them for their time. This shows respect and appreciation. If you're unsure how to respond, share the conversation with me here, and we can create the perfect response together. This will ensure your reply is thoughtful and effective. Remember, prospecting is about building relationships and maintaining them. Keep pushing forward, stay positive, and let's achieve great things together.
That's so awesome.
Hey there, Eric Worre here.
I love that. 1 second.
Prospecting is about making connect.
All right, we got it. Come on. Okay. So fast, right? Looks good too. Okay, so look, guys, GoPro Now. This is more than the best training system ever. Okay. This is the only training system, like I said before, that guarantees results. Whatever your goals, GoPro Now will help you achieve them. So maybe your goal is those first 10 customers. Maybe you're building a team. Maybe you want to earn 6 figures. Maybe you're ready to take the next leap and earn 7. GoPro Now will help you make real progress every month or your money back. Real progress every month or your money back. When's this coming? July 1st. We're almost there, guys. But look, what's included? GoPro Experience, $297. Most Powerful Women in 2 weeks, $27. GoPro Academy, $399. Eric AI 2.0, $399. So that's $1,000.
Hold on. Let me just jump in.
Please.
The GoPro Academy is not $399. The GoPro Academy is being sold for $197 a month. Okay? So it's $2,400 a year for GoPro Academy. It ain't no $399. So I don't know where that number came from. The 2.0, you could put $399, you put whatever you want on there. But I will tell you, my little test that I'm doing on Instagram is to say, look, if you're hungry, you're willing, you're coachable, GoPro Experience, Most Powerful Women, and GoPro Academy, it's about $2,500 worth of stuff. I will give you a $2,200 scholarship. If you're willing, coachable, and hungry, I will do all of that if you have a little skin in the game and you pay $297. So that's my little test that I'm doing in my DMs. But what Justin's going to share with you is much better than that. I still don't know why we're being so crazy generous, but maybe it's just to get it started because early adopters, hey, congratulations. Good on you. You've been here early. You're going to prove the model, all that stuff. But what he's going to show you, you can take that $1,000 value and you can at least take it to $3,000 when it comes to what it's worth. The training that's involved in GoPro Academy in levels 1 and 2, which is going to be delivered over time, not all dumped on you at once. It's going to be delivered over time. All these thousands of bits are going to be delivered over time. So you'll be able to have these transitions and have these scripts and have everything else. is going to be delivered over time. It's going to be constantly evolving. So, and I'm redoing pieces of GoPro Academy, and that's, you guys are going to have the first ones to see that, all that stuff. So just so you know, as he's doing his stack here, the total value, you could put it at 1,000, which is probably fine. But it's much higher than that. So I just couldn't resist. Sorry. I had to jump in there.
Thank you. Thank you for jumping in.
And the 2.0, me answering your questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is bananas. If that was the only product I had, I would sell it for more than what he's about to talk to you about. So go ahead.
Thank you. And thanks for clarifying. So like, yes, $29 a month. Okay. But I'm sure a lot of you don't want to wait till July 1st. A lot of you want to, get in sooner. And because Nowsite customers are amazing, we're doing something just for Nowsite customers, as Eric alluded. Okay, we have our pre-launch pricing and early access. And yeah, Eric thinks I'm crazy, but I insisted that we go all the way down to $19 listen, guys, for the first 1,000 to sign up. It's all I could get. First 1,000. All right. So this is gopro.now.site. Okay. First 1,000. And this is only for Nowsite customers. Okay, you got that? Because I am also certain that you want to know, what about new customers? Right. What about someone who's not?
Before you get there, Justin, let me just say, you get a ticket to GoPro. It's a virtual ticket, but you get a ticket to GoPro. You get a ticket to Most Powerful Women, and you get access to all the training. Plus, you get the regular Eric AI 2.0 for all that stuff. For the extra $19 on top of your existing subscription. $19 a month. So, I mean, if you annualize that, it's $240 total. A normal ticket for GoPro by itself, just GoPro, is $297. So, anyway, kind of bananas. So, back to you.
Agree. And look, again, we appreciate we appreciate this, my friend. I think it's a testament to our friendship and your belief in Nowsite. So we all appreciate it. New customers, can they get access? Yes, and we want to do something special for new customers. All right, so everyone pay attention. Okay, new customers, if they use code GoPro, okay, code GoPro, they're going to get GoPro Experience. They're going to get Most Powerful Women. They're going to get GoPro Academy. They're going to get the Eric AI 2.0. And we're going to give them a free month of Nowsite, My AI. A free month. So all they'll pay is $19. And there's an annual option as well for $197. Okay? So I've
got to throw in one more thing. Sorry. If you already have a ticket for GoPro, if you already have a ticket for Most Powerful Women, if you're already part of GoPro Academy, then you can either gift this to somebody on your team, gift what you already bought from us to somebody on your team. I would personally use it as a contest, have them do something in order to earn it, or a certain number of people who do something, then have a drawing for people to be able to earn your extra one. So you're going to have two, right? You're going to have one from being in here and having all this stuff, and the other one from what you bought directly from Network Marketing Pro. You can gift the one to another, and we'll help you do that. Okay. So don't stress. If you have questions, Justin's team will be able to answer those questions for you, and we'll help you figure out. And there's no gotchas here. There's no real gotchas. If there's something that, you know, you've already been a good soldier, you're already part of what it is that we're doing, you're already part of the community, then, you know, we'll find a solution for you to be able to gift it, to be able to move it, to be able to use it as a tool, to use it as a contest, to be able to help it go. Okay. So don't stress about, like, wait a minute, I just did this. You know, so I just paid more 3 months ago. What do I do? The company's going to figure all that stuff out. So just don't stress, you know? And even if you have a question that they don't have an answer to, don't stress. They'll figure it out. So it's all going to be fine. All right. So now really back to you.
Thank you. So new customers, use code GoPro. They're going to get a free month of Nowsite, and they're going to pay just $19 for this. Okay, we're going to run this for a week. Okay, we're going to offer the $19 to all of our existing customers for 1,000 only, and I can see the tracker over here. It's going to go quickly, of course. Okay, so please spread the word. We're going to be sending out this recording to everybody who signed up for today. This, everybody, is going to be amazing. I think this is going to be, I think, the most impactful thing we've done. It is, for me, one of the most exciting, you know, like technology projects I've ever been a part of. Like, the events, the content, the courses are world class. You know that. I can tell you that Eric AI 2.0 is just going to blow your mind. So if you're wondering, what should I do now? GoPro.now.site. I saw there was a question. Is it $19 for 1 month? No, you lock in $19. You lock that in. Okay. So you get in, be one of the first 1,000, and you'll lock in the $19 for at least a year. Right. And there's an annual option as well for $197. With that, I would say thank you once again to our friend Eric, and to all of you for spending some of your Saturday with us. And I will pass it back to Cheryl.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Look, it's an incredible day for us here at Nowsite, but also an incredible opportunity. And I want to share with you something that I took away from listening to Eric. And one of the things that he said was, you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. How hungry are you? And what's the decision that you're going to make today to impact the future that you want tomorrow? Make the decision. Go to gopro.now.site and just decide that you are going to be that person, that you are that person right now. Just like Eric was saying, you just step into the role. It's time that you stepped into the role. So I want you to brag about it. Put it here in the chat. Say, I signed up. I did it. This was my time. I took action. I made that decision. I love this. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I signed up. I did it. I did it. This is a huge congratulations to all of you that made a decision today. For all of you that said, I decide. And that's awesome. This was such an incredible training, such an incredible opportunity. I could not wait for this moment. And we're all a part of it together. I want to say a huge thank you to Eric, a huge thank you to Justin. You're awesome. And a huge thank you to all of you, because you did it, you decided. And that's incredible. I'm going to go ahead and end it here now because you should be running to gopro.now.site. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Eric. Thanks, Justin. See you guys next time. Bye, everybody.